What's up, guys? I am actually back, finally back. Today is July 5th. Happy day after 4th of July for all my Americans out there. But I am back, man. A lot of you guys noticed that I was posting my last four videos were videos that I had pre-recorded and then posted because I had the last 4.5, 5 months I have been training with the boys, and then we went on a full combat deployment. Um, I'm gonna have a lot more breakdown on that actual deployment. I still need to figure out what it is exactly that I can share, what I can't share. I don't want to put anybody in jeopardy by sharing something I'm not supposed to. So, um, with that said, I was training, we were deployed, we did phenomenal work, and there was a bunch of you guys, actual subscribers from this channel on this deployment, putting in work here on the front line in Ukraine. I'm grateful to be home. I'm grateful all of you guys are here. You waiting around for me, and the people who came out and are in the same unit as I am. Grateful for the work that you guys have done, man. It was very, very great. I mean, very, very cool. So, with that said, if you don't know me, my name is Saxon. I go by Vegas here in Ukraine. I was in the International Legion back in 2023, January. Excuse me. I don't know why I said it like Yoda. I said it backwards. But now I am in Azov. Specifically in Azov's International Battalion. We are recruiting. If you're interested, I will link the link in the description below. Just click the link, man, and you can also hit me up as well. So this is an Azov video. It was posted a couple months ago. I've been wanting to react to it, but obviously, like I said, I was busy. There are Russians in that house. First-person combat view by Azov recon troops. Let's check this out. And while we're doing the reactions and stuff like usual, I will I'll share some of my experiences that I had on this specific deployment, experiences and stories that aren't going to put anybody in jeopardy or our AO in jeopardy or anything like that. Okay, so let's watch this. Ready, go.
Справа затворимо сразу.
Парни, я 300.
Reconnaissance unit clearing Operation Chronicles in the Touretsk sector.
Треба зробити нормально. Підніми. Що загорілося?
How long is this one?
Крий! Ой, хорош.
So let me give a little context here. This is what combat in Eastern Ukraine looks like currently. It is a lot of these like what we call kind of mop up or clearing type operations or missions. You go in with smaller groups of soldiers because anything larger than a couple of people draws a lot of attention from surveillance drones, and then if you draw attention from the surveillance drones, they will notify every other system to just rain hell on you. FPVs, fixed wings, RD, mortars, grad, and the like, right? So these guys go in smaller groups, typically with knowledge that there was enemies seen in this village, X amount of people, which houses, blah, blah, blah. They move in, they clear it. You'll usually find the enemy in the basements or the cellars of these old houses because they are safer from just the constant rain of artillery and drones and the things I mentioned before. And these guys will just mop up or clear these positions out. It is awful, dangerous work because, as you see there, there's only one way in and one way out of that position. So if there's an enemy in there and he's been holding a position for 5 minutes because he heard you on the other side of the village coming across the street, he's just going to hold that until he sees you pop out. Wow. You know, we've seen it before. So that's kind of that's what a lot of the combat currently is looking like. And it's happening on both sides. The Russians are doing this as well to the Ukrainian soldiers who are out there on it, stuck in a position in a cellar somewhere, or similar to what these guys are doing, right?
Парень, я 300,
Hold on, I missed that. That is an FPV. You can hear it a little bit, right? Just before the bang, you can hear the high-pitched squeal, the scream of FPVs. If you have been out here in Ukraine in recent combat zones, you know very well what different drones sound like, right? You don't have to see them. Oftentimes you won't see them. The high-pitched squeal is an FPV. They're fast as hell. They scream. They get louder, louder, louder. Swat! They land next to you. There's the kind of buzzing of the Mavics. These are usually surveillance drones or dropper drones. The Mavics are the ones that are higher up. They're watching what's going on. They might have an RPG warhead or a mortar or a grenade attached that they can drop on you. Mavics, you know that sound. It's that lower buzz, like a fly or a bee in the same room as you kind of noise, right? And it goes on and on and on, man. This, like I said, most of you guys know I was with the Legion in 2023, and I saw combat with 1st Battalion, Charlie Company, 3rd Platoon, and it was a completely different war than what I witnessed out there these past handful of months. Completely different. I saw drones out there I've never even seen before. I didn't even know they existed. Again, I'm kind of gonna add in bits and pieces of my experience out there in different videos and just share it here and there. I'll probably have a full breakdown as well once I get the clearance, like I said, to tell you guys exactly more in depth about specifics, what I did, what we did out there, the kind of work that we did.
Парень, я 300, парень, я 300. Парни, я отхожу, я 300, парні. Мене в 300-го. В 300-го. Так, куди залетів? Ні, це не знімати.
Оце, да?
Хуй. А роу на аптечці.
Бандаж там?
Да.
Пульове?
Ні, це осколок. Так що залетів, поняв сюди ніби.
Ну що там, ну що?
Парні, передайте на мене, що я добіг до вас.
Вийди, скажи, що, як позивний? Добіжав до нас, даємо помощь.
Ай. Якщо питаю, я і питаю, і тупо не бега. Парні, хто прибіг? Все чітко. Що там? У руку залетіло, поняв, вище кисті. Осколок. Ну, типу, в кровотечі не сильно, нормально. Я думаю, що там остався.
Півіха, да?
Ні, це прильот. Скажи, що поки не треба, поки не треба евакуації, все за...
So this must be a different unit, or maybe the same unit, but a different operation, right? The area looks different. They're in a different building. They're with a lot more guys in this mission. But before we move past the guy that got injured, he said 300 Trista, right? 300 is wounded in action. 200 is KIA. 200 is the last thing you want to hear over the radio here in Ukraine, unless it's about a Russian. 300 is very common just because the sheer amount of shrapnel and things flying around, and things fly around and get lodged in your body. It's crazy. So like this guy, he said when that FPV came in, he dove down. He said Trista. He knew he was hit. He didn't know where though, right? And that's super common because with explosion injuries, like blast injuries like that, there's so much shrapnel, and a lot of the payloads that they'll load onto the dropper drones or the FPVs will just have kind of like homemade shrapnel bombs. They'll have nails, screws, metal shavings. The goal is typically to wound the person. It's not always going to just evaporate the person that the FPV hits, and it will sometimes, of course, right? We've all seen the videos where an FPV hits someone and it's awful. But that guy, he knew he was hit. It took him a minute. He got all the way into the cellar. His buddy had to check him, and then he found out he was hit in the wrist, right? Super common. Plus, you got that adrenaline going. You're sweaty. You're wet everywhere. You don't know if it's blood, if it's wet. I mean, if it's sweat, if it's water from your camel bag, right? So, just confusion.
Что у вас тут нету? Чекайте подвал, зовите сюда.
We've seen this clip. So this is this episode, this video is a couple put together. It looks like an older one and a newer one. But this is so common, man, of just civilians who never left their homes. They were told 1,000 times, hey, you got to get out of here. Maybe they had nowhere to go. Maybe they were stubborn. They didn't want to go. Now they're trapped in the middle of a war zone. But very common to see. I mean, it's one of the most surreal things when you're moving from a building to a building and you're taking incoming or like very, very close artillery fire or mortars or FPVs, and you look 3 houses down and the babushka's in her yard pulling potatoes. It's the strangest thing, dude.
Кого нету? Так, тянете сюда, сейчас. Вроде бы только наши. Можно? Пройдите, конечно. Кот, привет, такой красивый кот. У нас теперь куча котов. Понял, что не уехали? Что не уехали? Денег нету, чтобы снимать квартиру. Там. Мы сами отсюда удрали.
He said, why didn't you leave? And she said, we didn't have money.
Возможность была. Мы можем без вывести просто. Так вывести, а жить? Ну вот скажи, кто нас будет кормить? Просто Маша сейчас будет. Они будут вам еду приносить, воду, если надо будет. Мы просто метку поставим, что сюда вам надо заносить. Хорошо, спасибо, ребята. Открывайте ребятам зеленым скотчем. Зеленый только, да? Желтый и голубой. А, ну то есть это наш зеленый, желтый. Красный и белый пропускайте мимо. Все хаты закрыты, наверху скрыто.
So it's common to see. I know I'm stopping a lot here, but I missed you guys and I have a lot of stuff to share now. I've got months worth of stuff going on in my head that I've been wanting to say in videos. So this is also common. Specifically with Azov is they will ask if the civilians want to be evacuated, and then during these guys' mission, they will basically mark on a map or something, hey, there's civilians here, they need to be scheduled for an evac, and that they'll set up an evac, basically an evac mission down the line. So that's always cool to see.
Ой, кот красиво. И ты куда прыгать собрался? Да не прыгай. Виталий, иди сюда. Не зачіпайте, не лякайте.
Не лякайте, не лякайте. Він
А,
сам
ви взагалі його не зачіпайте. Він зараз вибране. Він не чистокровний, у нього біла ця шрамка.
Ти не чисто.
Давайте, иди сюда.
I remember this because I remember that joke. This guy says he's not a purebred. He's got a white spot, referring to the cat that's over there on the balcony. But he says, you're not purebred.
Ти не чисто.
Давайте, иди сюда. Це ти не чистокровний.
Мы не хотим вас догонять. Просто прикол такой, что если сюда зайдут русские к вам в дом, мы не сможем стрелять, потому что тут вы.
Короче, отметим, что вы тут сидите, вам будет приносить еду его. И закрывайте дверь. И открывайте только когда придут на зеленом скотче. Все, возвращаемся назад по самой узкой дорожке. Перебегаем в магазин и, короче, туда.
So you can hear these guys on the radio talking. Typically, what you'll see. Well, I can go into that more later. I don't want to get too off topic here. They're saying, "Hey, there's guys in that house right there." There is a ton of that, man. There is so many bodies, way more than where I was when I was out in 2023. Granted, I was in a different AO, different mission set, but I was surprised. Like you get that whiff of death constantly, and you can't always see the person who is dead. They could be in it over here in an area you can't see it, or a trench over here and a bush over here, but they're dead, rotting, smelling terrible. They're everywhere. I was pretty shocked.
Бачу. Воно, от там, понял. Справа за дверима зразу. Воно, бачу.
Парні, обходь. Своя!
Короче, вот тут аккуратно, подставай.
Ти поняв? От туди.
Своя! Да, вот тут. Шаг назад. Давайте дома пойдем по улице. Берите, обходим дом по улице. Идем в самый край туда.
Да, да. Давай сюди її. Підійди вище. Давай. Ти прикрий. Своя! Своя!
Заходим в крайнюю правую сейчас будет. Пацаны, мы с другой стороны вообще уже. Пристройте. Пристройте чисто. Прыгай сюда. Что? Пошли.
Man, this dude has American flag patch on his backpack.
Пошли, заходим в зеленый лес. На север. В этом. На север. Мы не зайдем. У нас горит. Не надо.
Не згорять на.
Подвал, подвал. Вот.
Стреляйте.
What was that, dude?
Это крик. Крик?
Ні,
Крик?
я не кричав. Напевно.
Ого, такой сразу идет. Давай надо подвал честно. Подвал? Так надо, отсюда. Давай к нам вырежем.
So I can't tell if when they opened that little cellar that hatch, they threw a grenade for sure, right? But then he said, was there someone down there? And he's like, yeah, it must have been. But to me, it almost struck me as though there was like already grenades or ammo or some kind of explosives down in there with the Russian, and he threw the grenade, and it just made a much larger explosion because their frag was the catalyst and set off the other stuff. But who knows? Either way, that one frag doesn't make that much of an explosion.
Еще, да. Ой, да там пиздец. Ты разворошил лапу. Погреб в доме чистый. Потому что на этой части дома нет ничего, все сгорело. Но... Как?
Чесно.
Да вот возьми, блядь.
Та я одну. Так. Ми зараз куди?
Прямо.
Правильно.
Sick. That was rad, dude. That's actually almost a perfect video to come back. Oops, shit. To come back on, because this, again, without getting into too much detail, this is very similar to our mission set. What these guys were just doing. Moving, clearing, slow, monotonous, shoot everything, blow everything up, and clear the area so we could take, basically we take the area, clear it, come back, and then we're replaced with some infantry units that will hold that position. That was really cool. So again, guys, I know I've been out for a while. This was by far the longest I've ever been away from the channel, and still a ton of support from you guys. So that's awesome. I love you guys. I miss you. And I am back now. So I'm going to be doing most likely daily uploads, at the very least every other day. Feel free to apply to Azov down in the link below. Shoot me an email. Talk to you guys soon. I love you. Peace.